Are young women enabling male stagnation? That's a question posed by one political analyst in a recent National Review article. Mona Charen writes many young women are having children out of wedlock. She observes if young women consider men to be unfit husbands, shouldn't they also consider the men unfit fathers? Mona Charen joins us now. She is a senior fellow at the Ethics and Public Policy Center. Mona, so just how common is it to have children out of wedlock?
So for women who don't get a college degree, unfortunately, it has become incredibly common, even the norm. 60% of mothers who have children before the age of 30 will have at least one of those children out of wedlock. So it's very, very serious.
So why is it so common? Why is this trend increasing?
There are many reasons. There is the availability of government benefits. There's the lack of stigma now with the sexual revolution. There's no longer a stigma to unwed childbearing. There's also the fact that a lot of young guys are unemployed. And so the question comes up, is it that they're unemployed, that's the reason the women don't consider them to be fit husbands, or are they not fit husbands because they're unemployed? So we don't really know. It's all mixed together. Except this much we do know for sure. Once men get married, they are better earners. They're much more strategic at work about the way they try to move ahead within any organization. They earn more money and they're more reliable. So all of that is
right.
a reason to marry.
What is the correlation between intact families and employment?
So, right, you are far more likely to, men are far more likely to find work. They will accept any job if they have a wife and kids to support. So you don't find the same kind of phenomenon of a guy sitting watching video games in his parents' basement if he's got a wife and kids. The world changes after you take on those responsibilities. And unfortunately, to our society in general, and young women apparently don't feel empowered enough to say, you know what, fella? You need to go out there and get a job and support us.
And finally, what would you encourage young women to avoid these type of situations?
Well, they should bear in mind that the most important decision they will ever make is who they settle down with and who they form a family with. George Akerlof, a Nobel Prize-winning economist, said that when men marry, they settle down, and if they fail to marry, they fail to settle down. So it's the responsibility of women and men to take on this adult responsibility when they become young adults, and to recognize that marriage and forming the family unit is more important to themselves, their own happiness, their children's welfare, and society's welfare than any other decision they will make.
Mona Charen, great advice. Thank you for joining us from the Ethics and Public Policy Center.
My pleasure.